Prince Harry and Meghan Markle just have no idea how to do the whole let's not make a terrible situation any worse thing. Proof this week with the fact that they have launched new public warfare against King Charles just at the moment when Prince Harry is attempting to, how do I put it, engineer some type of reconciliation very much against the wishes of Prince William, who, let's be honest, calls the shots in the royal family these days. So we're going to reveal what's really going on with Harry and Meghan's Frogmore fury with royal YouTube sensation P. Diner. But first, I want to take you through the shock reporting from Tom Sykes, who reveals that Harry and Meghan are still furious about their eviction from the cottage, which isn't a cottage, it's a mansion, which we, the British taxpayer, spent millions and millions of pounds renovating for them to be their forever home. But Sykes reports the Sussex side are now making a series of bitter new claims about the timing of the eviction, one which directly challenges the accepted narrative that they lost the house in revenge for the publication of Spare. Tom explains why they are so mad. And can I just say, this is not the time. Like, how stupid are these two? Do you really expect any of us to feel even a scintilla of sympathy about the fact that you lost your grace and favour mansion? Honestly, they're nuts. But I will show you the reporting because the claim is that in some way King Charles was going against the wishes of the late Queen Elizabeth II because Harry and Meghan claim the monarch, despite the fact, by the way, they'd given that interview to Oprah Winfrey suggesting that the British royal family was racist, but they claim that she wanted them to keep the house forever as a wedding present.
Harry and Meghan are spitting with fury about the fate of Frogmore Cottage. Now, if you've been following this story, you'll be aware that it was reported last week that their £2.4 million renovation of Frogmore Cottage is basically being undone. All of the Soho House appliances and fittings are being stripped out, and the property, having stood empty scandalously for 3 years at, they say, a cost of over $500,000, is now being converted back into staff accommodation, which is what it was before Harry and Meghan moved in. So this renovation was originally paid for by the taxpayer because Frogmore Cottage was supposed to be their official home and they were going to be working members of the royal family. As we know, that didn't pan out. When they left, they paid that money back, and they say that that was on the understanding that they would still be able to live there because they are saying to me it was a wedding present from the Queen.
Well, fake Prince Harry and fake Duchess Meghan, what the monarch giveth, the monarch can taketh away, especially if you accuse the monarch's life's work of being underlined with racism. But Tom explains in some detail this new, very infuriating claim from the Sussexes.
Sources in their camp also say that they were paying full market rent. Just to put this in context, I mean, they have been mightily cheesed off about this for years, and they're now basically doubling down on the issue. I get the sense that they're trying to ride a wave of popular fury about the royal family's incredibly wasteful and excessive property holdings, which I actually did a bigger YouTube on last week. Do have a look at my channel if you're interested in hearing more about that. They are basically now also making a really incendiary claim that they were evicted from Frogmore Cottage before Spare was published. Because you may remember, well, at least the decision was made before Spare was published. They're saying that the decision was made that they were informed of the wish to evict them even before the Netflix documentary came out. But this is a really fascinating new claim from their side, because of course we always understood that Harry and Meghan were kicked out in revenge for Spare, that it wasn't done in response to anything, it was done to punish them for their original sin. And we've heard this before, haven't we, that the royal family wanted to punish them for leaving the royal family, wanted to put pressure on them not to leave.
But Tom explains why not evicting Prince Harry and Meghan Markle would actually have been the mental approach.
In the palace's defence, I have gone to them for comment. They haven't responded. I think the argument would be, how could we have these two people who had betrayed our trust, who had sold us out to Oprah, who were planning to sell us out to Netflix, who had a book deal in the works? How could we, in good conscience, have them living in our back garden?
Well, of course, it wasn't going to happen. And the fact that King Charles was prepared to make that tough move suggests, I believe, that the late Queen had absolutely advocated for the same thing. But P. Dinah, there is just so much completely insane about this story. Like, Harry and Meghan seem to feel like the bulldozing of Frogmore Cottage, because effectively it's no longer going to be one big mansion. All of those renovations are effectively going to be stripped back and it will become staff quarters again, is in some way a personal attack on them. And as a result, they go back to the grievance policies, which show you why any type of reconciliation with King Charles this summer is madness, because they're not over what happened. And they're also living in a doolally parallel universe about the reality of whose fault everything was. Because, of course, there was a very good reason to evict them from the property. They had just made British taxpayers spend all of that money on a property that they actually never intended to stay in, and then had gone on international television and made incendiary claims about the British royal family. Yet they still think that in some way it's the British royal family that acted badly here. And Neil Sean this week has said Meghan Markle is still demanding an apology, or Prince Harry is still demanding an apology from the British royal family to Meghan Markle. And actually, when you see them briefing this type of absolute victimhood nonsense to Tom Sykes, you can understand why there is just no common ground.
The royals will never be able to do anything to make, first of all, that woman happy, or Harry, because look at everything that they got before all of this went down with, Frogmore Cottage. The wedding, what, $32 million, and you call it a spectacle on Oprah? Come on now. So whatever the royals do, they're never going to be grateful. They're never going to give, the people props for everything that they got. And in return, what does the royal family get? They get all this backlash and trying to make money off of, saying horrible things about the monarchy and the institution. I wouldn't care 2 cents about what they said, the Queen said, and what it was meant for, and that they're just retaliating. And my response would be, so, okay, yeah, we took it, and what you going to do about it? Because you didn't appreciate anything. So why should we care what you have to say about us taking this away from you, regardless of if it was before spare, after spare, whatever? You've done a lot of horrible things, and we can do what we want to do. Hey, we are the monarchy. We're the institution, which you could not appreciate. So go ahead, cry, do everybody you want. Go kick rocks as far as the royals are concerned, because they're doing the royal thing. And you, Harry and Meghan, are going to be kicked out of that royal thing. Get used to it. That's what I would say. Good for them that they are feeling hurt by it. That's what they need. Be hurt even more. Continue to be hurt, because that's what you need to get your silly heads out of the gutter and start thinking correctly. You don't have any common sense.
100%. 100%. It was completely nuts. Also completely nuts this week, P. Dinah. I think it was the video of the week in some way. Meghan Markle previously discussing how it was just so obnoxious for these celebrities to be selling very, very expensive candles. But actually, weirdly, Dan Wakeford, ex-People magazine and Us Weekly editor, is defending Meghan for her rank hypocrisy over this. So let me just remind you of what Meghan actually said.
I didn't want MeghanMarkle.com. I don't want this to just be me. I want this to be a community much greater than that. So beyond bringing on writers or other people who want to share great content and who understand the voice of the site, which is like talking to a girlfriend and conversational and inspiring. I've always sort of crafted it like aspirational girl next door. Like you can aspire for it, but you could totally attain it too. There are no $100 candles on my site. That's so obnoxious. I just want things that you can have. And so I want people who really understand that ethos and enjoy sort of the fun and frivolity of it all.
I mean, she is owned. But just before I bring you in, P. Diner, this is Dan Wakeford's take, saying actually the criticism of Meghan for her hypocrisy is unfair.
Meghan Markle is being called a hypocrite for selling expensive candles, but let's do the math and look at the facts here, and you'll see a different story. In 2016, she said that $100 candles were, and I quote, totally obnoxious. Critics are now pointing to her as ever line as proof she's contradicting herself. Her candles are $64. That's nearly 40% below the number she actually took issue with. And that's $100 in 2016, and now that's worth about $137 today with inflation. So she's not even in the same postcode as her own threshold. Then let's look at the marketplace. Diptyque, Jo Malone, Maison Margiela all have candles around $75 to $100+. Meghan's candle is at the affordable end of the premium category, not the obnoxious end. Now, I'm all for holding people to account for their words. If the facts support it, I'm all in. But this story only works if you ignore what she actually said, ignore the inflation math, and ignore the standard market pricing in the marketplace. The most durable criticism of Meghan tends to stick because it's specific and it's accurate. This one isn't either. There's something genuinely exhausting about watching every move Meghan makes get fed through the same machine and come out the other side as a fresh indictment.
Pete, that is total nonsense, isn't it? Like, this is absolutely obnoxious. She even sends out candles that don't have a wick. I mean, these are sort of low quality, low grade products. And she is charging a premium for it.
Right, it is a premium price. What are you talking about? Like, you're trying to make it make sense by doing some math? Seriously? No, nobody charges that amount of money, and it's not affordable. You know, affordable is if you can see it in Walmart somewhere for like $10, $12, okay? That's not affordable. That is a price that only very high class, high earning people can purchase, or, you know, especially on a regular basis, because it's a candle. You're going to have to replace it. It's not something that's going to be forever. So no, it's not affordable. And you trying to do your simple math to make it make sense is ridiculous. Okay. Meghan, when she spoke about it earlier, it's the exact same thing as what she's doing now. She called it obnoxious then. It's still obnoxious. It's crazy. $64 is not affordable for the majority of people. Definitely her demographics cannot afford that type of candle. So go kick rocks, man. Sorry.
No, I know, exactly. It's like, your girl's just been owned, okay? And actually, there's something so significant about it, isn't there, P. Diner? Because it shows you, again, there is nothing authentic about what she is doing. Even the Tig Meghan would have hated this new Meghan.
Absolutely. You know, this new Meghan is the royal, I'm better than everybody kind of a Meghan. I'm creating a very luxurious brand. She's not creating a brand that's for the, you know, the simple woman that is trying to make a living on a, you know, a modest salary. She is creating something exactly what she was talking about, the Tig Meghan. So this is that woman, okay? She's resorted to doing what she said she would never do because she's turned into that. She's royalty now. She's hanging on to a title. She's, you know, trying to be this high-level A-lister. She's exactly what she talked about as being obnoxious before, okay? She's not fooling anybody. She's turned into that woman, okay? So don't try to make it sound as if you're not, when we clearly can see. I mean, it's like you say these things. It's like you think we're stupid. You think we can't rationalize what you are now. You really are that person now. So it's just ridiculous. This people that try to defend this woman, I'm giving them the side eye all day because I'm like, really, for real, you're going to try to make that make sense.
Well, indeed.
I mean, these people have lost their minds, Dan.
And what are these people saying, Pete Diner, about the most revolting story of the week, in my view, the fact that Meghan is now openly endorsing one of the biggest trolls of Catherine, the Princess of Wales. And not just Catherine, actually, one of the biggest trolls in this entire space. Do you know what I mean? The royal social media world. It's this horrible, horrible man called the Notorious JTB. Yep. Everyone knows he's horrible. Like, we've spoken on this show about how he's horrible because of his attacks on regulars on the show, including Lady Colin Campbell. And then this was the post where he revealed the Duchess sent me this personal care package. He opened it up. There was a handwritten note, which means that this wasn't just some sort of PR thing that Meghan didn't know about. And he said, the Duchess sent me a gift. I'm not exaggerating when I say this was nowhere on my 2026 bingo card. Completely stunned, completely grateful. Thank you, Meghan. And for years, this guy has been one of the biggest trolls of the royal family. I mean, there was this post when BHB Watts said being a future king and ending up with the uglier, less talented wife must be a gut punch. He literally reposted that with a series of emojis. He then described Catherine as a bimbo in heels. But this dude is an out-and-out Sussex squad bully, a troll. And Meghan is now openly endorsing him.
That's exactly what she's doing. And the one thing about this gentleman is he always does these personal attacks on people's appearance. He said horrible things about Lady C and her age. I mean, the attacks he does are below the belt. The majority of the things that Meghan gets is about her behavior, her conduct, how she treats people, which are very legitimate. What he does is below the belt. It's mean, it's nasty. And I think Meghan sending this man what she did is an open endorsement to, I approve of you. Thank you for all the things and kind things you have said to defend me when you've talked about people and their appearances and call them these horrible names. Thank you, you bully, who I try to act as if I want to protect people being bullied online. Thank you for bullying my enemies online. That's what she has essentially done, because when you look at what she gave this man, it wasn't just a simple product. Thank you for whatever. But this is like, I am so grateful to you and all the things that you have done to defend my name. That's a message that Meghan is sending. She's not fooling anybody, okay? We know what you are about. You are a hypocrite when you try to protect or act as if you are protecting people who are bullied online, because you are clearly endorsing a man who is a nasty troll, a vile man who has said horrible things about people in relation to their appearance and their looks. We have legitimate concerns and complaints about Meghan because it's always about her character, nothing about her appearance and looks. She needs to understand we see what she has done, and she's a hypocrite for doing it.
She is. And you talk about that Lady C video, and it's awful because, you know, she's our girl. Yeah. But I do think you just have to see it to understand. Like, you've got to understand what type of vile individual we're talking about. So let's watch.
Let's talk about the corpse formerly known as Lady Colin Campbell, who speaks about Meghan and Harry with a level of rage that sounds like it's been fermenting since the 1800s. Every time she opens her mouth, you can practically hear the cobwebs shaking off her opinions. She was born Georgia Ariana Ziadi in Jamaica. Not British aristocracy, not palace-raised royalty, not a woman molded in the halls of Windsor. She grew up in a strict, old-world merchant family, then hauled herself to London chasing social status that never embraced her. That rejection grew roots in her personality. It sculpted the bitterness she weaponizes today. Bitter rot that she weaponizes against Meghan.
So hands posted. So Meghan, let me ask you a simple question. Are your children proud of you supporting a bully who has gone after Princess Catherine and the royal family? This bully has also targeted royal supporters, and you're sending care packages? Stop lecturing about anti-bullying and stop supporting them. And she then juxtaposed Meghan's Geneva speech with the troll opening the care package.
Is barely able to survive the bullying and predation of the online world and the dangers that these platforms bring. How is a child? So speak up. Demand better from the platforms shaping our children's lives. Be an example in your own social media use of how to be intentional in every moment that you like, that you comment, that you post, that you share. We could all universally agree on one thing. We want our children to be safe. Let our children look back at this moment and let them feel proud of us, that we chose something better for them and for us all.
I mean, P. Dinah, this woman, it's like we saw her with the posting of the Lily pictures. We see her supporting an internet troll. I mean, seriously, I would argue if there's one human being who should not claim to be at the forefront of a safe internet, it is Meghan Markle.
Yes, I mean, you look at what this man has said and you listen to what Megan is saying, you clearly hear the hypocrisy of this woman. And I think that that is why what we do is so important because we expose Megan. We expose her for the lies and how she is trying to actually do what he said. This notorious guy, he said Lady C was chasing social status. Excuse me. You talk about everything you said with Lady C. That's Meghan Markle, okay? But see, they don't want to listen or look at what Megan is doing. They want to overlook the things that Megan is doing. And that's why what we do is so important because we expose it. We bring it to the fore so people can understand the hypocrisy of what Megan is doing. She's not going to be anybody's savior for anything on social media because she is the actual thing that she's talking about. That's who she is. She's the bully. She just does it in covert ways when she sends these care packages to the people that are doing her dirty work. So we're on to you, Megan. We will continue to expose it and to expose the hypocrisy of this notorious guy because he is the man doing the work that you approve of. You know, make it make sense, people. And eventually, it's all going to come to light, Megan, because your children are going to be the biggest outers of everything that you have done later in life. They're going to expose it all. And we're going to be right here talking about it because you're not going to win this battle. You are not going to win it.
No, because she has just been completely exposed. And this week we're seeing her lashing out, trying to explain away her hypocrisy. And again, it's like, you're not smart. We see the hypocrisy. It's not even a question mark anymore. It's like, you claim that you care about protecting children on social media, yet you exploit your child for money. You claim about wanting to stop bullying online, yet you reward one of the biggest bullies in the royal online space. We see you, Meghan Markle. There is no way you can cover up for this anymore. And unfortunately for her, I think the world is waking up because finally, actually, there was a little bit of mainstream media coverage. Not much. But as you say, P. Dinah, we're breaking the news. We're getting the message out. And actually, I think even people in the MSM are starting to realize, like, what? Like, why would she send a care package to that guy, that weirdo who's obsessed with hating on Catherine? Like, what's that about? So I do think the Overton window moves and it opens, and that is in large part because of the work that we have been doing, which is why
this video is for news reporting, commentary, and educational purposes. The views expressed are based on publicly available information and personal analysis. We strive for accuracy but encourage viewers to verify information through official sources.